Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Cheza the girl, your one and only girl who gives you clarity on everything concerning visually impaired persons. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure that you ring the bell that every time when I upload a video you get a notification, share, comment, and obviously go and view the other videos on my channel. And today I want to talk about the adjustment from the community or people around you after you lose your sight, and how they're used to you being so sighted that it's hard for them it's hard for them to adjust on you being visually impaired. So as you all know that I lost my sight very recently, like 2 years back. And then mostly when I walk around, I walk around with my sisters. They're my sisters or my brothers. So I walk around with my siblings. So yesterday I decided that I'm gonna come home from school, and from school back home I have to catch like two taxis. So I catch the first taxi that took me to the local town that we go to, and then when I got there I had to go to this other shop to buy something that I had to go home with. And then that time I'm alone. So definitely I'm like, I know them where the shop is found in the back of my mind, so I know how I have to walk around town to get to that particular place. And I remember I got off at a shop near the robots, so I had to walk to the robot side. And when I got there were like three different ladies, and there's this other lady who's a vendor who knows me. And then I greeted her, and then I passed to stand at the edge of the pavement. And when I was standing there, I was busy listening to the cars moving, to say, oh, they're moving from this direction, which means that the robots on my side are red. I don't have to pass because the cars are passing. And then one of the ladies back there said to me, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to this particular shop. And then she's like, oh, by the side of the municipality offices. I'm like, yeah, on the other street. And then she's like, oh, okay, and the robots are clear for you to pass. You can pass now. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And as I was busy detecting with my cane to find so that I can get off the pavement into the tar road, she made a comment, and she's like, yo, hi, this girl is clever, this child is clever. And then one of them responded, she's like, nah, she's not clever, she can see this one. She can see. And I did not answer them. I just continued with where I was going, and I did not answer them because already I was on the tar road going. And I was like, people should think whatever they think. People should continue to think whatever they think until they get the guts to come and ask. And this is one of the things that I've previously said in one of my videos, that you should ask a person who's visually impaired on how do you see, what do you see, because that person is saying, I see because I was able to say the correct direction of where I was going, and she knows me to have been sighted since I was born. So even now she still thinks, nah, this one is sighted. But then she can see that when I walk around with a white cane. But then that does not register in the mind. And hence I said, today I'm gonna talk about the community adjustment to a person who lost their sight or recently became visually impaired. And it's one of the challenges when you find that people in the community fail to adjust and fail to accept you just because you have lost your sight. And that is one of the things that happened, because this story just happened yesterday. And that's one of the things. There's a lot of stories that show that people in my community fail to accept me the way they used to, because now I'm visually impaired. They think like there's something that happened, as if I'm no longer as normal. They think like maybe I'm mentally disturbed a little bit or something. I don't know, because they don't vocalize it, but then they say it after. They don't say it in my face, obviously. They just say it behind my back, and some even have the guts to come and ask. And it's so very hard to lose your sight and see the change of behavior from the people around you, from the people in the community, the people you expected them to support you and be there for you, and show you wherever they can, help you wherever they can. And I know that we should not be entitled and all, but it's very hard for me as a visually impaired person now to accept those comments. And you may find that maybe at one point I have like my anger issues, or I haven't dealt with the loss of my sight to a point where I'm at peace with everything that anyone might say, and I just turn back and then start to insult her for the comment that the other lady made, to say, nah, she's not as clever as you think. She just says. And it's those comments that people in the community make um behind our backs, that make us, that when we come home we don't want to go out, that when we are at home we feel like we don't fit in because of the treatment and the adjustment of the community towards our disability. And I don't think it's only people who are visually impaired who face this challenge. I'm not so sure about people who are physically disabled or mentally disabled, but I'm sure of my experience that I get to experience every time when I come home. When I come home and I have to go outside of my house into the community, I feel like I don't fit in. I no longer fit into the community as I used to before I was sighted. And that is very hard. And hence, there can be people who are visually impaired in your community and you never get to know them or know about them, because when they come back home, all they want to do is to stay at home, because they know that they are accepted and loved only at home, and outside in the community they are judged. People say whatever they want. People in the community assume, and and I often say there are street doctors. So that lady, she's a street doctor. I was like, no, she can see, because I guess she has already diagnosed me. And obviously looking at my eyes are still as white. My eyeballs still plays as much as I can play them. And people think just because her eyes, there's no change in her eyes, she still can see. Not knowing that even when the eyes are white and the eyeballs are still as clear, a person can be visually impaired or blind to that point. But that's all from me today. See you next week on another video. Thank you. Bye.